Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls That Love to Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta. And thank you everyone for tuning in to our chat this week. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to hear more chats, and hit that bell icon below so that you'll be notified whenever we have new chats coming.
Absolutely.
Okay, and today what are we drinking?
We are drinking Good Earth Original Tea. It is a sweet and spicy herb tea, so it's like cinnamon. You know, sometimes when you go to Hobie's and you walk in and you get the whiff of that cinnamon, it reminds me of that. But I love
delicious.
This tea.
And we did drink this in one of our earlier chats.
Yes,
so if you missed it, we're doing a replay. And Good Earth used to be a restaurant on Stevens Creek in the Silicon Valley.
Yes, in Cupertino.
Many moons ago.
Yes.
And this was their, I guess, their iconic drink, right?
Yes, it was.
Cheers.
I love
Delicious.
that. You would think with it being 100 degrees outside, we wouldn't be sitting here drinking hot tea. However, you know, they always say, if you want to cool down, drink something hot.
Hot, yep.
So that's what we're doing because we want to cool down.
Yeah, delicious. If you ever get, well, I don't know. I mean,
the box has changed the look, so it looks a little different.
That's right. You can't get this anymore, and the taste is not the same.
Yeah.
Because I actually have a box of the new one, not knowing it was the restaurant Good Earth.
Right.
Doesn't taste good. They changed the whole recipe, the ingredients.
Yes.
And it's not quite.
We only have maybe 4 or 6 more little packs to go, so we're going to drink them very.
We're going to conserve.
Yes.
Conserve.
Because one of the things that I love about this tea is it's naturally sweet. There's no sugar.
I love it, and the cinnamon taste comes through without being too strong.
Absolutely, It's wonderful. So today we thought we would talk about football. I love football. So there are 2 components of football that I'd like to talk about today. The first one is, everyone is talking about this. We have to get rid of football. We have to get rid of football. The children are getting hurt. The children are getting hurt. If we can put a person on the moon, you mean to tell me we can't figure out how to make a helmet that will protect our children so that they can play football? Football to me is just like American apple pie. Where I grew up, football was the sport. My uncles played football. My, uncle was a coach. My brothers played football. My nephews played football. I've even got a couple of nieces that played flag football. It doesn't have to be violent. You can put a flag on the kid and you just grab the flag. It's the tackling that I think that's the issue. And when did it become so violent? I mean, they all play football and they don't have any mental capacities, no concussions. We never had to take anybody to the hospital. I was talking to one of my nephews and he was like, well, Amy, that's because I run fast. And I said, I know you ran fast. However, there was a whole team chasing you. There was, every now and then they catch you. It just wasn't that way. And on the other hand, they are saying football is bad. Soccer is good. And like I shared with you in one of the other talks we had, I watched the Women USA team play, soccer. And I watched this young girl get kicked in the head. Now, I would think foot to head, no protection, is far worse than kick to the head with a helmet.
Right.
Maybe the helmet is not where we want them to be. How about we work together to make them what we want them to be instead of just,
in
throw
this
it
day
away.
and age, you would think someone would come up with something that's, I guess you have to make it light enough so that it's not top heavy.
Right.
So you can run fast.
Right.
So
some kind of like gel compression.
Yeah, I'm
so
surprised.
That you can,
no one's come up with something like that.
Yeah, you can protect the head so it doesn't joggle. I mean, I don't want people to be hurt. It's just really sad because where I live, the principals are not able to get enough students to their parents to allow them to play football. So football as we know it is starting to just disappear.
Well, I think I've heard that there's a high school, and I'm not sure if I'm correct in this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I met up with, and I just found this guy online, and we started, being friends, and through something or other, I don't remember, but we graduated the same high school.
Wow.
Yes, in Daly City, Westmore High.
Wow.
And he is now a coach
Excellent.
at Westmore High, and he told me
Wow.
that I think Westmore High does not have a football team.
Yeah. It's really disappearing.
Yeah.
And I think that's sad, because I think football is still, they have pads. It's still safer than soccer, because, those were just, granted it was a girl kicking a girl in the head. However, I hear when they do the big playoffs, the guys, they're kicking each other too. And I'm sure that has to hurt.
Yeah, it's
a lot.
Yes.
So if you know anything about football and how things are moving, so we can share it with anyone watching the video, please comment below.
Yeah, and also why someone has not come up with a better alternative to the helmets they have now.
Yes.
Because people come up with all sorts of very genius things. I'm
Yes.
just wondering why. Yeah.
Yeah. And it sort of leads into the second situation. Andrew Luck with the Indianapolis Colts basically announced earlier this week he's retiring at the young age of 29. And the Colt fans, booed him
And were just shaking their heads, very disappointed.
They had jerseys on and they were just sad. I'm thinking, this young man has been hurt a lot. He's had concussions. He has, his poor little body has been broken down quite severely.
Right.
And his comment is, the injuries have taken away my love of the game. Yeah.
And now he's taking a step back, and he's going to take care of himself, which I love. Good for him. And I'm surprised nobody actually cheered and said, we're so happy that you're taking a step down. You're going to take care of your body. You're going to take care of your family, so you're around for your wife and your kids.
Yes.
I love that. I told my husband, good on him.
Yeah, I agree.
Good on him. Self-care.
You have to. And it's not like he needs the money. He's already made a lot of money. And there was like a pending, it was either 24.8 or 28.4 million of his existing contract. And my understanding is that the league or his particular team, they're giving him that money. If he was a bad person, if they felt what he was doing was unfair to the team, I think they would say, we're done.
Right, that's it.
Bye, see ya, clean out your locker. And that's just not how it's happening. He had an opportunity to speak to his teammates and to share what's going on with him. And they have all come out and said, we understand.
Yeah. It's sad that some of the players, I actually saw something online. Someone had a jersey on and they changed his name on it to something else quite rude.
Yeah.
And
just
I thought,
really
wow.
sad.
Yeah.
Really sad. So, I don't know if a lot of you have heard, but there was a little snafu on Good Morning America on last Thursday. Laura Spencer was talking about Prince George and the fact that he now likes ballet. And he's 6 and he's taking ballet.
Yeah, that's part of, I think they said it's part of the curriculum. In
right.
The school
He has a lot of things that young man
Religious
has to
studies
do.
is another
yes.
one.
And she kind of leaned in and she said, jokingly, well, let's see how long that lasts. Now, when I heard it, I thought she was just saying, as children are, on Monday, they want to do one thing. On Friday, they're done with that. They want to do something else. That's not how it was perceived by the dance world.
Community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, like Nigel Lithgow is one of the head judges for So You Think You Can Dance.
The executive producer.
Yes, and the executive producer of the show. He took exception to what she said. There is a choreographer that's on that show. He took exception. Gene Kelly's widow, Dancing in the Rain.
Yeah, that's
She took exception to what she said. So her comment just blew up a whole bunch of things because I thought we had moved past the point that only, like when I was a little girl, they used to call them Tinkerbells. Only Tinkerbells would take ballet, because there are all different individuals that take ballet. Do you know that football players take ballet?
Yes.
Because it increases their agility and their flexibility. That's how, when you're on the field and they go hut one, hut two, and all of a sudden you see someone hurdle, baby, that's the creative, that's ballet. That is, we've come so far from, if you do ballet, then you're this kind of person and we're going to put you in this box. And if you only do this, we're going to put you in the, no, it's all about different flexibility.
Yeah, and they took it out of context, because when I saw the replay of her talking about that, I didn't think anything of it. And they just blew it out of context, and she apologized. She went on TV and apologized. Yes. I didn't see the apology, but you.
Yeah. I mean, she said that, she said, I did something really stupid and I'm really sorry. I realized the power of words, and I realized, what I said. She met with 3 individual gentlemen that sat with her to discuss what she had done, and because she wants to learn, so that she makes sure that, like, make your message. She wants to fix it. She wants to make sure that this doesn't, make a child feel bad. That, I don't think that was her intention.
No, that's not, because she's not like that. She's definitely, if you know Laura Spencer, she is not one to be like that.
And she was, she just kind of got caught up.
And what was even more surprising was when she said that comment, people laughed and clapped.
Yes.
The studio audience clapped. Everyone clapped.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I didn't think anything of it.
I mean, usually if someone does something that is a little off kilter and they pan the audience, you'll see people, going, mm-mm. And you didn't see that.
Nope. Even the other co-hosts didn't really think.
And one of, there was a gentleman that is a Broadway performer, and he made a comment, it's like he knows her. And so he said something like, girlfriend, that was not right. Here I am. I dance ballet. That was really, really bad, Laura.
Yeah.
So there's all this stuff that's going on.
But she apologized. She interviewed. She said, this is a good educational moment for me. Thank you for coming. And that's it. But I think she's not on the Good Morning America show right now.
Right.
And I think she's just still embarrassed. I mean, it's sad because it's going to take a while, because I could imagine, I can actually see myself in her situation.
Right.
And I would be embarrassed as well. And she's just going to lay low until it dies.
Right.
Dies out. Could be a month. It could be a few weeks. It could be 1 week, 2 weeks. We have no clue how long she's going to be out. But she did look a bit embarrassed, even though she was talking to the 3 men that were dancers.
Yes.
She still, even though she was interviewing them and trying to learn something and apologize, she's looked really embarrassed still during the interview.
She really did. And I think this is kind of, there's something afoot in the United States of America right now, and this is an example of how people are interpreting what's happening. I was sharing with Rosetta. I was out in a social environment, no stress, no drama. And you know how you say, hi, how you doing? And usually people go, fine, how are you? And all of a sudden it's like, I'm sad. And I go, you're sad? And this particular lady, she goes, I'm just so sad. She goes, my heart hurts. I'm just sad for America. I'm sad for our country. We used to be the pride and joy, and now we're not. And I'm just sad. And, she's like, I'm tired of the current state of affairs, and I don't know what to do. And I don't really feel that me as one person, that my vote will make a difference. And I'm like, girlfriend, you can't feel that way, because if everyone feels that way, then no one takes any action. We become stagnant.
Right. It takes one person and another person, and then it becomes a team, and then a community.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about Hong Kong. I had the pleasure of being in Hong Kong as it was being turned from British back to China. And when I went through, I was like at the airport. I was on my way to and from Singapore. And when it was under British leadership,
Mhm.
the tone was very different. And it was amazing how fast the shift was happening when it was going to be under the control of China.
So you were in Hong Kong in that year. What
Yes.
was it? 1997, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was traveling on a business trip, and I tell you, it was Hong Kong. You talk about security. So we flew in on a plane. We got to Hong Kong, and the plane did not have enough fuel to continue to Singapore. So the crew, we hit a monsoon. It was for a girl who doesn't like to fly, it was an adventure.
I would be freaking out.
Yeah, we'll save that to another time. We'll go into more details because we both can share. So they make us deplane and go back through security, open up the computers, turn them on. I'm like, we went from a plane to your room, waiting room, from the waiting room back to another plane, and people are having to take off their shoes. So very, very secure. Very, very secure. But it's just, the people are tired and they've had enough, and they are trying to voice their opinion, and they're trying to get their government to hear them. And her biggest fear is that China's going to come in with the tanks and just wipe everybody out, because she says that's kind of how they roll.
Yeah, you don't know. You have no clue what's going to happen. You're in like how would I want to say? You're in like a scared mode all the time, because
Right.
you don't know from one day to the next what's going to happen.
Right. And like I told her, I said, I have at least once a week someone who I initially think is very intelligent says to me, I'm not going to vote because I don't think it'll matter. And I'm like, okay, you just took your intelligent card away because you have to vote. I don't care who you vote for. That's between you and your conscience. You still have to vote.
You still have to vote. I mean, yes, I understand people have their own, you can do whatever you want. No one's going to force you to. But if you don't vote and everybody says they're not going to vote, then
Right.
What's going to happen?
That's right. And, like my friend, she was like, especially the millennials, because they're very happy and content where they are. If it doesn't affect their pockets, they don't care. And I thought to myself, that would kind of upset me a little bit, because don't put me in a box. Don't categorize me based on what happened. There was an event that happened, and for whatever reason, everybody didn't get the opportunity to vote. And that was then. And we're talking about right now. And now is the time for people who think that maybe I didn't do exactly what I wanted to do, or maybe I'm happy with what I did and I want to stay the course. It's time to vote. But to classify it as the millennials, I'm like, there was a time when, there were these little sweet people that were, flower childrens and hippies.
Wild child.
Yes. And people thought, oh, well, look at them. Well, they turned out to be some really, really great people, because they showed up, they protested, and they got laws changed, and we can do the same thing. So just so you understand, there are what they call traditionalists, or the silent generation. They were born between 1945 and before. The baby boomers were born 1946 to 1964. The Gen X was born 1965 to 1976. The millennials, or the Gen Y, were born 1977 to 1995. And the Gen Z, iGen, or Centennials were born between 1996 up till today. So they may try and put you in a box and classify you. Just vote your conscience, because at the end of the day, I always say to people, if the world was to end right now, in the present moment, you're standing there, would you say, I'm all right because I cast my vote and I voted my heart? Or are you going to be standing there saying, I don't know what to do, I'm just standing here? I'm serious. You just have to make a choice.
Yeah, please vote. And for you people out there that have not voted, the young ones, the
Yes.
18-year-olds
Yes.
and slightly above, we just urge you to go out and vote because you have the right to do that. We want you to do that.
Yes.
Yep.
I remember there was a time when I would vote in the big events, but not so much the little ones. Propositions, that doesn't affect me.
Right.
And then one day there was a little trial with Anita Hill and what is he? Judge Clarence Thompson. And I remember looking at the trial, and there were senators that were so old that they were like asleep, and the cameras, they showed it, and
Yep.
and I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I pray he's not from my state, because I want somebody awake and thriving to fight for me.
Well, you still see that nowadays.
because
they're still showing it.
people are not voting.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, when you are working passionately for something, sometimes you don't know when it's time to go home. If you have people who are representing your industry, your cities, your states, your counties, and at the end of the day you think to yourself, what the hell are you doing? I would never vote for that. Then you go and you vote, and you put someone in place that hears you and understands what you
Yeah,
want.
we call those people that don't vote and want to have a say passive aggressive.
Thank you. and when things go bad, don't come talking to me, because I'm going to vote. If you vote, we can have a conversation.
Right.
If you don't vote,
Right.
then you just get what you get. So vote, people. Now, shocker. It is 17 weeks to Christmas.
I don't want to hear it.
I know you don't. I can't
don't
believe
want to
it.
hear it. I don't even care.
I know.
Come to a point where I don't care anymore because we've had some shops have even had like Christmas stuff up already.
And I'm like, they have to stop. So it would be really nice. We're going to go on our own little campaign. So first we're going to do Labor Day this weekend. Woohoo! Then we're going to do Halloween,
Halloween,
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving,
and then we'll think about
then the
Christmas.
holidays. Well,
Yes.
we might think about the holidays a bit sooner, but not as soon as right now.
No.
No, because it's not like I don't like the holidays, and I know there are people out there that love the holidays.
Yes.
It's just, when did it become such a money maker, the
Yes.
holidays? Everything is, let's see when we can get the stuff out as quickly as possible. How much money can we make well in
Absolutely.
advance?
Yes.
I remember I used to work in Target as a
Yes.
manager, store manager, and we'd have Thanksgiving. Then the day after Thanksgiving, I would go in at 6 a.m. and I would decorate the trees.
Yes.
And that's when the first sign of Christmas would be the day after Thanksgiving.
And that's when it
Yeah.
should be. Because let's just stay in the present moment and give thanks to your higher source, whether you call that God, Jesus, Lord, Father, whatever source. Let's just be grateful, because the signs of the time, even, we were talking earlier about the weather. The weather, my God. I mean, can you imagine you're sitting like us having a cup of tea, and in an hour's time you get 6 inches of rain. You can't even open your car door to
Yeah.
get in your car because the water's too high. It is very, very severe. It is time to wake up, my people. It is time. Mother Nature, that's why it's a girl. Mama don't play. And Mama has been patient, and I don't know why people really think that we can withstand anything. If the planet is going to blow up because it's getting too hot, I mean, all the sharks, people used to have to really look for a shark. Now, especially in Florida, you don't have to look very far.
Yeah, they're coming ashore. I don't know why.
They say because the water is warmer.
Yeah.
And so, where they're normally out in the middle of the ocean, they're able to migrate closer.
And that's the same with like the glaciers. They're all melting.
Yes.
Yeah, Alaska and different areas, they're all melting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right, people. I know they just had, what was that, the G7, and one of the discussions was about the climate. It's time. That's why I keep saying we need some girl power in office. And I don't mean yes girls. I mean girls who are going to show up and fight for the planet, because our children need us to fight. There are people, at a certain point, I'm always talking to Rosetta about this. If you have $2 million, you got the house, everything's paid for, you have a good insurance program for if anything happens to you or your family, you have money for vacations, you're a happy person, right?
Right, you're set.
So why do you end up having to be a person that is driven to, I have to have more? I remember if you would amass $1 million, you would be set for life. And now all of a sudden you have to have $1 billion.
Yeah, $1 billion is what is known as the new million.
Yeah, and who cares?
Yeah.
Dead is dead. You cannot take it with you.
I know. So that's going back to this holiday, the whole holiday thing.
Yes.
Where, this is a big issue for me, for those big corporations to open on Thanksgiving Day. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I just have to rant a little bit.
That's
You big
why we're
corporations
here.
should not be opening on Thanksgiving Day. Give your employees the day off. It's a day to be thankful and celebrate with your family.
Yes.
And I'm going to do this every year like I've done. I've told people don't shop. Please do not shop. If you don't shop,
they will
stop opening. And who
Yes.
is that money going to? Really?
Yes.
It's going to the big people that are buying their third house or their
Yes.
fourth car,
Their villa.
or their villa or something.
Yes.
They're the ones that are spending your money, and they
Yes.
don't lift a finger to help in the
Yes.
business.
What are they doing to help with the homeless population? What are they doing to help ensure that all of their employees have benefits, that their employees are well taken care of? Nothing. They're just adding another zero. Another zero.
Yeah, it used to be back in the days where they would have the day after Thanksgiving, get up
Yes.
early
Yes.
and stand in line. And I did that for Mervyn's. Remember Mervyn's? I stood in line because I wanted their giveaway.
Yes.
And the line was around the block.
Yeah.
But now things are open. Like what? What time on Thanksgiving Day? 4 p.m.?
Well, yeah.
Or
They
whatever
pushed
it is.
it. Remember, not last year. Last year it was like 4 or 5 p.m. The year before it was like 8 o'clock or something. It was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. But if you open, there are still going to be people coming.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know. This is just a vicious cycle. It's a catch-22.
Yeah, but we have to go back to love. We have to go back to loving our family and putting our family first, because that's what's important. At the end of the day, if you talk to anybody, I've had the misfortune of being with people who are close to passing. It's the memories. They never say, I need a new house.
I'm
I
so
wish
glad I
bought
bought those
another
new pair
car.
of Jimmy Choo shoes or
Oh,
something.
Lord, yes. Oh, I love my shoes. No. They're like, I wish I had spent a little more time with this person,
Yeah.
I wish I had an opportunity to tell this person that I love them.
That's the most important, is your memories. That's all you have is your
Yes.
memories.
Yes.
Everything is materialistic. Everything can be purchased again. You can throw those away, burn them, and they can be purchased again.
Absolutely.
Memories you cannot buy. You'll
cannot.
never buy memories. That's why I always say, make new memories.
Yes.
Go out there and make memories.
Every day make a
Make
memory.
memories, good memories.
Yes.
Because when you're on your dying bed, the memories are the ones that keep you going.
That's right.
Or if you, like Gloria said, if you're, people close to, passing, that's the memories you have of them.
Yeah. And before we close, because we were going to talk about the VMA show, but we're going to save that till next week, because we're going to do a little bit more research. There were lots of things that happened, and we want to make sure we have enough time to give you a good recap. There is something I heard on the radio yesterday. There is some new thing that will tell you with an 80% accuracy when you're going to die.
Oh, I heard that on the radio. Forget that.
I was like,
No,
would you take the test?
No, who would do that? I'm not going to do that. Who cares? You want to live your life to the max, and who cares when you're going to die? You're going to die depending on how you live your life.
But
So
could
who cares?
you imagine, and the people were having disagreements, because some person like, oh, I want to know. And I'm like, Why? So instead of you thinking to yourself, I should be kind to that person, you're like, well, I'm going to die. I don't have to.
I should just check off everything on my bucket list. Let's go on a trip to wherever and do
Yes.
this and do that.
Take my credit cards, run them bad boys up because I don't have to worry
Well,
about
I know
it.
that if they have it out, people are going to do it. There's always going to be people that want to know. And what good
It's
is it?
not-
What good is going to come of knowing? Because
Nothing.
you're just going to be every day. It's going to be a day closer. You'll be,
Yeah.
oh my God, I was told I was going to die at 80. I'm 75. I have 5 more years.
Yes.
Why would you want to live your life that
Thank you.
way?
Thank you.
It doesn't matter when you die.
Thank
What
you.
matters the most is what you make of the time you have
Yes.
on earth.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
People stop worrying about when you die.
Thank you.
And when you die, it's going to be amazing.
Thank
Your
you.
spirit leaves your body. You're not going to feel anything.
Yes.
And you're in a better place.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
And you'll be with your loved ones.
Yes.
That may
they
have
were
passed
there
away.
waiting for you. So,
It's amazing.
you know, try and live. And, you know, just as Rosetta's saying, live in the present moment. Just be. Just enjoy. But I knew when I knew that was going to be the ticker for the ending of the show today.
Well, that was it. That was a nice little ending to the show. Everyone, please live your life to the fullest. And
Yes.
don't worry about death, because death is amazing.
Yes.
And it's always really nice that
Yes.
you could join us.
Yes.
We've had amazing talk today.
Yes.
Chat. We talked about lots of things.
Yes.
And if you have any feedback or comments, please put it below. And we want you to comment below if you want us to chat about anything
Yes.
or whatever you want to talk about.
Yes.
Just put it below.
The next time, I know one of our subjects is going to be the VMAs. So if there's anything else you'd like, I'd like to hear what those girls think about this. Put it below.
Put it below, please. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget again to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Yes.
Thank you again. We appreciate so much that you're tuning in.
Yes.
And remember to
To
always keep
keep
smiling. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Cheerio.